Hello, this is Case Gannon, and this is the first of a series of interviews with members of the Canadian Authors Association in the National Capital Region. And we start with one well-known author, and that is Jo-Ann L Tremblay. So welcome to the show, Jo-Ann.
Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay. So tell our viewers, before we go into your books and so on, a little bit about yourself, please.
Well, I was born in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Lived here for just a few years and then moved to Nova Scotia. And most of my growing up years were in Nova Scotia, which was quite a wonderful upbringing and a wonderful place to grow up, full of history and full of culture, and of course the ocean is very beautiful, so I enjoyed myself.
And what did you study?
Well, I actually have studied a number of things, but what's most important to me is about the experience of life, and I think that was the greatest education I've ever had.
Mm-hmm. But do you have a special kind of degree in economics or in any?
No, I don't have a degree in economics. I'm terrible with numbers. That would never work. No, it is about people. I worked in family life education, as well as actually I have my certificate in public relations.
Okay.
Yes.
And when you were sort of teenager, when you were a lot younger, did you actually read lots of books, or were you an avid reader?
Oh, I absolutely was. Mm-hmm. I love reading. I would love getting lost in my reading. But I did a lot of my reading outside, interesting enough. That's where I love to read. So I would find a nice little place on the beach and cozy up, even in the cold weather with a windbreaker on, mm-hmm. and open my books and step into different worlds. It was wonderful.
Okay, and what kind of books did you read? I mean, what genre of books? Is it mostly stories or novels?
When I was a teenager, I kind of like the Nancy Drews. I kind of like the mysteries and having to solve them, but very much involved with nonfiction. Again, as much as I could learn, that's what I would do. So I would put my hands on anything that I could. And I love the National Geographic.
Okay. Yes. And do you have any favorite authors that you can tell us about?
Again, I believe my favorite books, though, were the Nancy Drew. Mm-hmm. I would read them actually over and over again, even though the mystery had already been solved.
Okay. So then you took up writing yourself. And when did that happen? How long ago?
Well, that happened about 8 years ago in terms of writing a book. Mm-hmm. I did do writing for the Children's Aid Society of Ottawa-Carleton in the areas of recruitment for our foster families and so on and so forth. So I really kind of dabbled and started there and realized I absolutely loved writing. And since then I became a life coach, personal and professional coach. And with that, I realized that I wanted to write a book that people could, recognize some of the tools they had within themselves, or how to build other tools, both personally and professionally, and I realized a book would be very helpful.
Okay, so we'll go into the details of that book. How many books altogether have you had written?
I have written one book. I do have another book that is written. It's in manuscript form and is with an editor at this time. Mm-hmm. So I have written one book and I have another book on the way.
Okay, so the book that's on the way, what's the subject of that book before we go into the details?
The subject of that book is very, very different than the one we're going to be talking about today. Mm-hmm. I underwent surgery, life-saving surgery, and it's about my healing journey. So it's from the brink of death to recovery through humor and inspiration.
All right, so let's turn to your current book that you are going to talk to us about, and also to show us what is the title of the book and what is it about?
Okay, the book is called the Self-Coaching Toolbox, 6 Tools for Personal and Professional Growth and Development. And so throughout this book, each chapter really is a workshop. And so there is information, and then from there are exercises that I have designed that people can apply to themselves in both their personal life and their professional life to enhance the existing tools they have and to add new tools to their toolbox.
Mm-hmm. And how long did it take you to write the book?
It went very fast because I think I was probably writing it in my head for about 10 years. Okay. But then when I sat down in front of my computer, it went very, very quickly. And in fact, the book was written in about 4 months, mm-hmm. which I would say is very, very quick.
Yes, relatively quick, that's true. And is this the book that you have in your hand there?
Yes, it's called the Self-Coaching Toolbox.
Yes. Okay, just turn it a little bit this way because that's it. Yeah, because there's some reflection. Good, and I will zoom on it so that our audience can actually look at it in great detail. Great, wonderful. All right, so let's...
and there's a great deal of symbolism on the front cover. The road is really the road of life. Mm-hmm. The mountains are about the mountains we have to climb in life. And of course, the toolbox, because we all have a toolbox that we carry in our lives.
Okay. So what was the challenge that you met, or challenges that you met when you were writing this book?
The challenges, for me, it was developing the exercises that people could do themselves in their own life and in their home, and finding exercises that were, or creating exercises that were generic. They could actually apply it to their professional self as well as their personal self, because many of the tools, first one being, for example, awareness. Well, awareness is something very important both personally and professionally. The second tool is beliefs. What are our belief systems as a professional or as an individual? The next one is know yourself. So these sound very basic, but they are. They're very, very important. And then, of course, we move on to that, from that, and the next tool is setting goals and creating plans. Then energy management, positive stress, negative stress, stress no less. It's all in how we manage our energies. So that's very, very important chapter. That's probably one of my most fun ones. I really love it. And then the sixth tool is self-mastery. How do we be master of our destiny and captains of our ship?
Wow, we all want to do that, don't we?
Yes, we do. Okay. And we all have the ability to do it.
Good, especially if we read your book.
Well, my book is to help you with your toolbox, exactly.
So do you think that you've achieved your aims in writing this book, both in the content of the book and also in the message that you wanted to kind of project to your readers?
Yes, I very much believe that I have, because I've also given workshops to teams, work teams, with companies and with the federal government, as well as individuals. I've given a lot of workshops on the book, and the feedback has been absolutely amazing, very, very positive.
Okay, and finally, can you tell our audience where they can buy this book? I mean, is it available at the usual bookstores in Ottawa and all over the country? Or
yes, it is.
Is it an e-book as well?
Yes. No, it is not in e-book form, but it is available. At any of the chapters, you can purchase through chapters, as well as the bookstores. They would be able to order it. They would also be able to order from my website, which is www.potentials, that's plural, potentialsmanagementoneword.com, but also from the publisher, which is General Store Publishing House, and that's www.gsph.com.
Okay, and is there a price tag on it, on the book there?
Yes, they're selling the book at $19.95.
Yes. Okay, well, thank you very much for attending this interview, and I'm sure that lots of people will at least look into your book and perhaps look forward to your upcoming book, the next one.
Well, thank you very much, Case. It's been a pleasure.